What do Cameroonians really want? What do they want? Party A, they will insult. When it comes to Party B, oh, Party B is corrupt. When it comes to Party C, oh, that one is even the worst. When it comes to Party D, oh, we don't even want to hear that one. But when it comes to independent, oh, this one is distraction. When it comes to the other, oh, this one is controlled by the regime, is a regime. When it comes to this other one, no, we don't want this. The question we should be asking ourselves is, what do we as a people really want? We blame everybody and identify a problem with everybody, even without knowing them, even without doing our research. We blame them. We call them names. With just 200 megabytes in our phones, we sit and water down the effort of peace-loving Cameroonians who are putting their lives on the line to see that Cameroonians who share one common problems, it should be resolved. And we cannot be talking about 2025 presidential election without us taking us back to what civics and moral education actually is. The state has its responsibility to protect lives and property of its citizens. In the same vein, the citizens also have a responsibility towards the state. We often look at the responsibility of the state towards us, but we don't look at our responsibility towards the state. And that is why you will see somebody doing something which is very bad, destroying state property. You tell the person, please, can you stop? The person will ask you, are you the government? And some will also tell you the government has money. And the government has money, the government will do it. The question now is, if the government has money and you keep destroying, don't you think that the money that the government would have used for something else, like boreholes, equal electricity, the government will use that money now to replace what you have destroyed? It is a common sense that we as a people need to ask ourselves whether it is in the north region of Cameroon, whether it is the northwest region, whether it is the far east region, whether it is at the center, Douala. Let us ask ourselves one common question and examine ourselves introspectively. How good, how fair have we been diligent towards the state? I am not saying the state doesn't have its own share responsibility. In fact, we as a people are expecting the state to do more than just what they are doing. In the same light, we also need to accept the fact that we have failed in our responsibility. In leadership, you are just. A leadership of a nation is a reflection of its people. How the people are tells you how the leadership is and will be. Should we continue to live in that limbo, or should we move ahead and do the needful, what needs to be done? There is an ancient Greek philosophy that divides three categories of people in a nation, and it states that you have the idiot, you have the citizens, and you have the tribesmen. This Greek philosophy paints a picture of how these three categories of people are in a nation: the idiot, the tribesmen, and of course the citizens. Ask yourself, are you among the idiots? Are you among the tribesmen? Or are you among the citizens? The tribesmen, the idiots, are those who don't care about their nation, who don't care about their environment, who don't care. They blame everybody. They don't take their responsibility. They say, I don't care, it's not me, I will not vote, voting doesn't matter, this doesn't matter. But they go around complaining about things that are not being done. Oh, we need electricity, oh, we need this. They say, oh, if you vote, nothing will change. These are the categories of people that the ancient Greek consider as the idiot. The idiot also can also feel in the aspect of leadership, where leaders who ought to provide the basic necessity of its people or their people don't do it. These leaders tend to say, after what will the people do? They know that they have to provide water. They know that the roads are bad. They know that electricity is a problem. They know that the school sector has a problem. They will not do it because to them, their children will have to school in Harvard. If they are sick, they will have to be ferried to Lisbon in Portugal. They have to be moved to Paris in France. They have to move to New York in the United States of America. And they have to move to London in the UK for proper medical attention. So they don't care. And if they have to invest, they will not invest here for us to have jobs and have boom our economy. They will invest somewhere else because they fear that one day they may lose some of their ill-gotten wealth. And that's why they treat us as ambassadors in their own country. They treat their people as though they are ambassadors in their own country. Of course, what do ambassadors do? Their children mostly school in their home country. Their businesses is mostly in their home country. When ambassadors are sick, they are ferried back in their home country. What then is the difference between this set of people and some of our leaders within our nation and Africa as a whole? The tribesmen. The tribesmen are those who are highly tribalistic, who believe that things must be done only along the tribal basis. That is why it is common in Cameroon. If somebody asks your name, you say, my name is Carol. They will ask you, what is the other name? They are not asking the other name because they want to know. They are asking how to disfavor or favor you. How to say, no, it is not part of us. Oh, it is part of us. These are the tribesmen. And the citizens are those who think that they have an inherent responsibility not to judge people by the color of their skin, not to judge people by the name of their villages, not to judge people by the language they speak, but by the content of their character. These are the citizens. And as Cameroonians, where do you belong? This is House of Commons with me, Tah Mai Jarvis. Happy Sunday to all those of you who are just joining us. We are those who are Christians of the Roman Catholic faithful or the Presbyterian, the Lent period, or those who believe in that religion. We are in the period of Lent. And those who are Muslims also, we are in the period of Ramadan fasting. And those who also believe that they share a common philosophy, whether Christianity or a religion, or those who are also in their traditional religion, all of them share one common values. Whether you are a tribalist, a traditionalist, in the traditional society, thou shalt not kill, thou shalt not steal, thou shalt not lie, thou shalt not, in the normal traditional society. The same religious society, thou shalt not, thou shalt not. In the Muslim society, the same. So whether you belong to anywhere, we want to wish you a happy Sunday. Happy birthday to all those of you celebrating your birthday today, and hope that we shall be having a fruitful discussion. In the studio, we have two presidential aspirants, independent candidates, who have decided to come and share their vision and their position to you. Some of you have been asking questions, and you will have the opportunity to ask them questions today. They will be the one to speak. You have opportunity to ask them questions. Some of you have been asking how possible it is, how ready are they, how are they going to be able to make sure that they meet the needs of the people. Are they distraction, or are they this and that and that and that and that? I have earlier stated in my editorial that there are three categories of people. The idiot, according to a Greek philosopher, those who don't care who water down their activities and try to discourage people without no justification. The tribe men are those who think about tribal basis, that only vote towards my tribal man. And these are the most dangerous set of people in the society. And the patriot are those who try to seek a common ground. Where and which area are you? In the studio, we have Dr. Barrister, of course, Asong Michael, who is here with us, who is going to be a candidate for the 2025 October presidential election. He is also here with us. And also we have Madame Carol, who is also with us here today. She is also an independent, and she's the lone lady that's actually declared officially her candidacy. They say what a man can do, a woman can do it better. And we may have the population, but sadly when you look at the voters registration and voting turnout, you ask a question: what has the nation done that women cannot come out massively to determine the future of their children? Whether we like it or not, if a nation is bad, the women feel the greatest heat because they are the mothers of the society. They have the men. If a president is a man, that president has a mother. If a prime minister is a man, he has a mother and a wife. So you add all this, the women feel the brunt of it all. These are the gentlemen and the ladies with whom we are going to discuss. Dr. Barrister, happy Sunday and thanks for joining us.
Happy Sunday, Mr. Tah Jarvis. Happy Sunday to all our viewers in Cameroon and the diaspora. I would like to please seize this opportunity to congratulate all the incredible Cameroonian women who have been doing a lot in the Cameroonian society, participating in sustainable development. assisting in one way or the other, whether it be in the sector of the economy, education, health, social, and culture. Moreover, I want to also seize this opportunity to pay homage to all the women who have died due to violence committed against them. In Cameroon, there is a rapid increase in the amount of femicides being perpetrated. And just from the beginning of this year, we have had about 24 femicides. So we are paying homage to them who fell on the battleground due to the violence committed towards them by we, the men. So sorry to families that have been bereaved. And one of my objectives is to make sure that women are protected and they have their rights secured, that there is equality, and that they are empowered. And I want to seize this opportunity to greet my co-independent candidate, who is Madam Backup Carol. I am really pleased to see that you are a strong woman, powerful, able to stand up and say, yes, I can also be the president of the republic. That is what we want today. We want women to stand up and say that they are able. I strongly believe that if we have more women getting involved in politics and in every other activity in the society, then certainly we'll build a stronger society, because it's impossible for us to achieve sustainable development without the active participation of women. It is fundamental, it is indispensable. So on this, I just want to wish every Cameroonian woman in Cameroon and the diaspora happy Women's Day.
Also in the studio, we have Madam Carol, who is here with us. She is an independent candidate. Madam, happy Sunday and thanks for joining us.
Happy Sunday, Tah Jarvis. Happy Sunday to my co-candidate. Happy Sunday to all the beautiful Cameroonians. What I want to say is that I'm proud to be a Cameroonian, because when I listen to you, when I see the way you are eager to bring change in your country, especially women that believe that things can happen through them, then I'm proud to say I'm ready to fight beside you, hand to hand, to ensure that our country is safe, sound, and well educated, to embrace the next third government that will put in place by our own reasoning mentality, by our own vision, by what we feel that is possible. I want to use the opportunity to salute all the men. You see, for a woman to stand out, a man should be agreeing. Okay, I want to encourage the men that are stepping out to encourage women to stand, because they feel they can, but we are caged into the man is the head of the family, so man is the one supposed to push a woman out. Yesterday we celebrated the the International Women's Day, though it's still not a celebration that is fit for what we are claiming, but at least we are reminding ourselves that we still have a lot to go about, and that our husbands and sons and daughters should be alongside with us, educated and fighting with us to ensure that everything is right and perfect. So thank you for inviting us. Thank you for inviting youth on your table, because we believe that they have their words in this. They have the energy it takes, they have the wisdom it takes, they have the capacity to stand and ensure that whatever is brought out will be done, and we expect more youth to join, more youth to believe, and to respect the effort put in place.
Thank you very much. Now we'll start straight away with the program. In 2024, 31st of December 2024, President Paul Biya, in his end of year speech, acknowledged that the issue of roads is a major problem in this country. We are counting more than 60 years after we regained our independence as a people, and also more than 60 years after we started with different vision from Green Revolution of President Amadou Ahidjo, now to rigor and moralization with President Paul Biya. Madam Carol, if you look at all these trends from where we were and where we are today, can you say Cameroon is where it ought to be?
Thank you for the question, Jarvis. If you listen to my speech, my New Year speech, the first of this January of this year, I stated, I recall the history, because it's always hard, it's good to have the history to be able to make a content in the future or in the present. I recall in my speech that President Ahidjo gave the country in a political, cultural, economic, and social state stable and sound. And the head of state at now, President Paul Biya, recognized it when he was swearing in speech, saying that the country he was giving into is politically sound, is socio-economically sound, is culturally sound. So we are now asking ourselves the question: what happened in between the 1982 to 1925 to 2025?
6 November.
6 November. Yeah, where he swore into speech saying that he is okay with President Ahijo, that the country is okay, politically, economically, culturally, socially, is sound. Now, how many years back? And we ask ourselves the question: 42 years back, what is happening? There is no green in our nation. Things are becoming more expensive than ever. There is no social growth. The society is divided into parts. We don't know which part to hold. Children are fighting against themselves. What we do not know in our time, when the parents used to argue and quarrel, children will not even dare to approach. There's a father that will tell you, or the mother that don't dare. Our problem, you are not concerned. But today, parents are the ones introducing children in their quarrels. So socially, things are going wayward. Tribalism, hate speech, and all the like. When we go to a political society, then you said it when you started your speech. That was a very brilliant speech. People are just fighting over nothing. They complain of change. People are bringing change. They still complain on the people. Political parties are fighting against each other. At a given point, you are asking yourself that, are we not in a game serving the interest of the regime in place? Because it sounds like that. When you go to the economic level, come on, kerosene has increased. I remember in those days, the liter of petrol was 250 francs. Today, we are 550 francs. Like, come on, it's a huge increase, more than they have. So economically, nothing is done. Health-wise, it's not possible to get into a little center in your quartier and have good, good
services.
Good care or political service. No, even the nurse or the medical doctor, everybody is out for money. People want money out of no services. And we're asking ourselves the question, do we really want change? Because yes, the regime in place has failed. That is nothing. There's all the proofs are there. Yeah, we should not even waste time again to bargain on something you cannot change. Nothing can be done again. But now my concern is on the population. Are we ready for this? Are we really ready for change whereby, okay, people are doing their thing because they're eating money out of it. We are implementing it, still taking money. I went to the Far North with my team and we discovered that there is a hospital center where there is a bamboo table, how do you call it? You're a medical doctor. Where delivery table, bamboo, no dish. And they will tell you that per year they can deliver 120 women. 120 women, that a child can die, a bamboo can sick the woman, or whatever. Things are happening, but we have a health public
and the woman ministry have infection.
That is it. We have a health ministry that is claiming that everything is okay. Come on, and we are asking ourselves the question: are we really serious? Are we really playing with the life of Cameroonian as easy as the way we are doing it? Is it that they told the people that leading us that no Cameroonians are ready to make a move? Then I think it's high time Cameroon should rise. Cameroonians should rise because the signal is red. Nothing is moving. Don't talk about roads. Talk about the abilities of the population to even locate another village. Because if you're talking about roads, it's another case. Some villages will go inside the bush. I'm coming out from a place in the west, inside the bush to locate another village. That the main road, the bridge is not standing. Cars cannot pass. Even the motorbike, before he passes there, he's praying in tongues. Excuse me. Because there's no way around. So, before we talk about the road, that is too expensive for them. Because the Minister of public work, he told us that 1,225 million was used for almost 191 kilometers. Come on, even in the world, we have never beat that kind of a record. So it's too expensive for them, so they cannot afford to give us roads. Even the little population can have to breed. It's not affordable. We have councils, we have governors, state them. So everything is not going well.
Okay, so we that more than 50 years after we regain our independence, we are still almost as it was before.
Yes.
Things are not moving well. Dr. Barrister, like I asked the question to Madam Carrel, President Biya in his end of year speech, 31st of December 2024, articulated openly that the roads, that there's a problem with the road. And before President Paul Biya's speech, you had the president, you had the delegate general of national security, Martin Barangele, who had actually came out to talk about the issue of roads. And instead of people taking about road, they said he should go, and some of his colleagues said he should go and take care of the issue of ID card. Now he has taken care of the issue of ID card. Will those some colleagues take care of the issue of roads? Your position on this, are you satisfied from that time, 50 years till now?
Well, what I would like to say is that President Biya does not write his speeches. You see, so you just have a group of people, his entourage, who prepare his speeches, and he simply comes and reads them. It's very, very sad to realize that is when the delegate of national security has to stand up and condemn the deplorable state of the roads, because for over decades he had not taken that road, and for the only time he took that road, because of the very bad state of the road and because of his old age, he was able to feel the physical consequences of a deplorable road. It's so sad that we have leaders today who don't even know what Cameroonians are going through, because that's just the proof. If Biya's entourage and President Biya could only realize after decades that there was a problem with that road, it just shows that we have leaders who don't care about the basic needs and services of the population.
That's the road which is still benefiting from last regime, eh?
I bet, of course, that is what we are saying, because when we go, we're talking about 42 years in power of President Biya. I was not even yet born when he took over power. I was born a few years later, and we already met things in a very deplorable state. And if for over those years he could not realize that not only are these roads not in a good state, they had to be enlarged, because you know the Douala Tiko Limbe road is a national road, and there are so many activities that take place along that road. So we have the CDC.
Through that road you can go to Nigeria.
You can go to Nigeria. You take Southwest, Kumba, you go Manfe, yes, or you Mojok, you get into Nigeria. Or you go through Idina, you take the boat, you cross the other side. Or Tiko, you take the boat and go to Calabar. You see, then you have Sonara. So there are so many activities, economic activities going on that road. So many touristic sites too. So how can a road that is designed to produce and to boost our economy not be in a good state? So those are things that it's so difficult to understand as a human being, you see. And this goes to show that our leaders don't care about us. They only care about their power, about exploiting our natural resources and using it for their personal motives. And that's the reason why for over donkey years we never knew where the revenue of an institution, private company like Sonara, was going to. No accountability. It's only of recent that it was being introduced into the budget. So these are the things we are talking about, and it is very, very sad that the Cameroonian population today is not awakened. Your speech was very wonderful at the beginning, where you were educating and reminding the Cameroonians that they also have a responsibility towards the government. I would like to disintegrate the state so that we can see the different entities in the state. So towards the government, that's the leadership, towards the people, and also towards the territory, because those are the three components of a state. citizens are supposed to be conscious of their responsibilities towards those three entities. And that's the reason why today we understand and realize that their attitude is based on ignorance, because we cannot be in a state for over 42 years and nothing has changed, but yet citizens don't want to get registered on the electoral list. Last elections in
But they keep complaining.
But they keep complaining. In 2018, we had 6.6 million registered voters. Only 3.6 voted. 3 million didn't.
So the decision of the state is being controlled by 3 million people.
Just by 3 million people. Out of 30 million. Approximately 30 million. And you realize that for the past 2 years or 3 years, we have political leaders who have been putting pressure on citizens to get registered on the electoral register, which is something I find very strange, because every citizen is supposed to be conscious of his rights. And the voting right is not only a civic duty, but it's a human right, because it is enshrined in the Universal Declaration of Human Rights of 1948, and it's also enshrined in the preamble of our Constitution of Cameroon. So it goes to say that registering and voting is the only way citizens can take part in the governance of their country, because they elect their leaders. And more to that, the Constitution states that sovereignty belongs to the people. I know there are citizens that will be saying, but can't you see that we are in a dictatorship? Can't you see that elections are rigged? But we are in a dictatorship and elections are rigged because you don't complain. You don't stand for your rights. You are not there to control. You are not there to make sure that you have the appropriate education to know how the electoral process is carried on.
Dr. Barrister, in every 10 Cameroonian, I did a survey, in every 10 Cameroonian who say the votes will be rigged, have been rigged, you ask them, when last did you vote? Only about 2 will tell you that they have voted. 8 will tell you they don't have voters card. But these are the same people who say that they will steal the election. Eh?
Exactly. And you see, I started off with a program called the electoral process, where I am educating the population to know or have knowledge about the electoral process, because it's very important. You see, today there is this issue where, because in the last elections the opposition party in general did not have up to a 50% coverage in all the polling stations, so they did not have scrutineers. Yes. So the question now was, how do we resolve that problem? And that's why some people think that to resolve that problem is through coalition. But if the whole opposition did not have up to 50%, it's not a coalition that will make people have more. So there should be a different strategy. The different strategy to go about this is that every citizen or every voter must be fully educated on the electoral process, because the scrutiner must not obviously be somebody from a political party. If you are there and you feel that you can do the job, then you do it. And
snap it.
So if we are able to educate each and every voter goes there armed. And one of the things I also proposed during those conferences.
What you say armed? I want to be clear with
no. Armed means knowledge, please. It's not like with guns, please. Armed means require the knowledge on how the electoral process takes place. How, like for example, the ballot papers that are supposed to be there. Every candidate is supposed to have his or her ballot paper. There should be a list to sign. At the end, there will be a report. The report must be signed by everybody. You must have your own copy. You should be there when you account the accounting. You should have your own copy, original copy of the report. You can snap and we'll post on social media. So that is what we have to do, and that is what I'm trying to tell Cameroonians today, that the change we are all looking for is not about the political parties, is not about the candidates, the independent candidates. No, it's about you, the population. So it's not us who are going to bring the change. It is the people, you, that are going to bring the change through your votes. So there is a responsibility you have to make sure that that happens. So this just goes to say, Mr. Tah Jarvis, that frankly speaking, there is a serious problem in Cameroon, and we shall realize that for over 42 years, the leadership has not played its role towards us, the population, and we should also realize that the population has not played its role towards the state.
It's a reversible reaction.
Of course.
Hello, Mr. Tah Jarvis, and to everyone in this house. I would like the woman's. I like the woman's courage. She speaks the minds of the commons. I would like to be a campaign manager in this side of Douala Pika. This I am called Bless. Okay, Bless. Probably at the end of the program you can guide me. So many messages coming in, but I want them to talk while reading their messages. Madam Carol, I want us to look at where we Cameroonians share one common vision. Cameroonians are united with the following. One, the Anglophone crisis in the northwest and southwest region, which is draining down the economy. The Boko Haram insurgency in the northern part of the country, you were there, which is actually also draining the economy. Cameroonians are united also with the issue of inadequate electricity. In fact, electricity is epileptic.
Yeah.
We are united in that. Cameroonians are united with corruption. Corruption is the order of the day. Cameroonians are united with tribalism, where these days it is either the Tongtina, Sadina, Moton, whatever you can call them, Graphi, whatever you can call them. Cameroonians are also united with high rate of unemployment. But I want to pick one of these, which is the crisis in the northwest and southwest region. As a presidential aspirant, how do you seek, and also the Boko Haram insurgency and the Seleka rebel incursion in the eastern part of Cameroon. These are the particular areas where I know if you become president, this should be your priority. How do you seek to resolve some of these issues? What are your position? Especially the Anglophone crisis, the Boko Haram insurgency, and also the eastern incursion of the Seleka rebels.
Thank you for the question. And what I want to say is that we need to put the right contents in what we call crisis, okay? Because if we don't have the right content, we address the situation wrongly. And if you do address a situation wrongly, then we have wrong results. We are not Anglophone or Francophone in Cameroon. That's one thing Cameroonians should state it clear in their minds. We are Cameroonians, and our ill luck, let me put it this way, was that we were colonized by Anglophones and Francophones. And they came in and taught us that we are two different people. That's not true. We are one people. First thing we need to correct, and I will correct, is to make sure Cameroonians are one, brothers, sisters, having the same problems, the same difficulties. So solving that will make me to solve one and only one educational system, only one educational system with additional traditional languages or mother languages that I'm going to put in place. If you are in the northwest, you must study a language in the northwest. We will sit down with our elders, our chiefs, our kings, to make sure we brainstorm on it to bring out a particular dialect that will unite us. When you are in the center, the same will happen in the west, in the southwest. French and English will be used to discuss with the guys that are coming across. But when they come in and they want to have affair with us, we will send them to go and study our modern languages. When they do that, because when we go to China, China does not picture English. You speak Chinese, okay? And we have Chinese interpreters in Cameroon because we wanted to trade with them, and they forced us to study their languages. Yes. So we have to do same in Cameroon. Yeah, you have to study a language in the northwest, in the southwest, or in the littoral, in the center, in the far north, if you want to trade with Cameroonians henceforth, because we are not going to use any longer those languages to divide us and to kill us. That's one thing. The second thing I'm going to do is make sure all our different ethnic groups should sit at the parliamentary house, because that's the house supposed to handle the affairs of Cameroonians. But unfortunately, that house we have spent much billions to serve the affairs of deputy in the nation, senators, ministers, to embezzle our money and grow fat stomachs, buy big cars, build good houses. But the real contents of that house, the real reason why the house was built, to fight against the right of Cameroonians, is not handled. So that house will turn to be the house of the numbers of ethnic groups you have in the country that will sit there to defend their different issues because I'm better placed to tell you what I feel. You can fight my right for myself. So that house will be open for that. Now, as far as the Boko Haram, we know where the Boko Harams are coming from. Okay, so we should not even fool ourselves. This is a program that has been put in place to ensure the leaders, the governances of African countries, especially Nigeria and Cameroon, and in the part of Niger, should be handled, and Chad should be handled in such a way that their sticks should remain in their flesh. You understand? So we know exactly where it's coming from. So to handle that case is easy. If we give army full capacity, we give our army full trust. Can you imagine? Somebody will go 12 years in war. After the 12 years, he comes out with 2,000 in the pocket. Are you really sure that that guy can really see a Boko Haram and even disturb himself? Why? Because it's not encouraged. Okay, it's not respected. Okay, he has given in for his country, but the country has not given in for himself. Their fathers, their friends, they have children, their husbands, but they cannot afford to pay rent. What I'm saying here is not gossip in the quarter. We went in to discuss with those guys because they cannot open themselves to a program like this. So they will tell you things that are frustrating. They are supposed to have 50,000 every 20th May or every parading day. They are giving 14 for some. Some they are not giving. You complain, they sanction you. You understand? So the state of mind is in the army is such a way that they are ready. Yeah, they are ready to even go in for the Boko Haram because there's much money there. You understand what I'm saying? So this thing, we know who is manipulating it, and it's supposed to be handled easily. We've discussed with those guys, and they gave us accurate strategies to handle that. The East are the same. Now, it's not only that, you clearly said. We have water. This is the common of all Cameroonians. We have roads. We have health care that is very poor. The quality of our healthcare is very poor. You go to a healthcare, you see a dish it's not with rust, and that's why they put needle and everything and want to administrate some. No, come on, seriously. No, we are going to the hospital to fall sick or to be healed. Around the hospital there is a trash, very big trash that has exceeded the trash can and it's already touching the road. And we are fighting against malaria. We are producing the germs to kill population. So this should be handled exactly whenever we step into power, because every procedure is already written in place. So Donald Trump is not the only president that will sign decree.
Okay.
As he stepped
now
in.
Let me do a follow-up.
Because
Let me do a follow-up. You have articulated that the problem in the north can be handled because you have actually identified where that is coming from.
Where it's coming
and
from.
Also made mention that the issue is also that the guys fighting against Boko Haram are not well motivated.
No, not well
which
motivated.
is actually making them not to be discouraged in terms of actually giving in their full capacity
That is it.
to target Boko Haram. The Anglophone crisis, you say that let us remove the word Anglophone and look at us as Cameroonians and see how we can resolve it. Now, within this context, what are the concrete plans you would take to stop the violence in the northwest and the southwest?
First thing, as I said in my manifesto, I'm going to call for a frank dialogue at the Unity Palace, because that's the house of Cameroonians. It's not the house or the office of some few bunch of Cameroonians. This is a house where Cameroonians should identify themselves. So I will call for a frank dialogue for a month, giving time to all those who are afraid that maybe it's a strategy to take them and jail them. Nobody, dear Cameroonian, will be jailed. Nobody. It's true. It's true. Many families are feeling pains of the loss of their children, but jailing those guys will not bring back our family members. But what we can do best is that we need to reinsert them by training them, put them in a particular unit in the army. I've discussed that with some of the army guys, and they are ready, and they think that's the only solution, because jailing them will not solve anything, Jarvis. It's a creating more grievance, more hurt in their hearts, that no matter what they claim, even if they claim it the wrong way, they will not hurt. So the frank dialogue will be called for a month, where they will be carried by the army, everything protected to the Unity Palace. We will discuss and exactly point out where is exactly the problem. Once it's done, they will be sent to a particular part of the army to be trained to be part of a unit that will ensure the security of the population, because they know the bush and we know where guns are passing to get to the bush. So their best place to be now, the spy of the government, to tell us that this is the person that is introducing guns. Traore won the third, I mean, it's almost the third coup d'etat that he almost had, because the army, because they have their importance, they are well fed, they are important, they are respected. When they bought them, they told their president, this is exactly what we're supposed to do.
The last attempted coup.
That is it.
They actually went and told the president, and they pointed out where the money was being stored, who stole the money, and who wanted.
So let's stop complaining that no, we need to call France to support. Forget about it. All the USA, forget about it. Our army are well trained. What they need to the government is that they should respect them and give them what it takes to eat properly, dress properly, sleep properly, and they will step out and solve this problem in the daytime. So these are the major action I'm going to put in place. Now, concerning the healthcare, no woman is supposed to pay for money. We'll come for that. Okay.
I want us to go progressively.
Okay.
Dr. Barrister, Cameroonians are united by the following problem as articulated: poor roads, also inadequate epileptic electricity supply. Water supply is even in cacophony, because the water that some people use in their toilets is even better than the water that many people are drinking in some parts of the nation. And if you look at corruption, tribalism is another thing. The Northwest and Southwest is experiencing an ongoing crisis. And also the Seleka rebel incursion in the eastern part of the nation, the Boko Haram insurgency in the northern part of the nation. Of recent, there was an attack at in the north. Now, you as a presidential aspirant, hoping that you intend to go in for this election, the people who are watching you, these are their major concerns. How do you intend to dissect, to solve this problem within the first 100 days, as far as the Anglophone crisis, the Seleka rebel incursion in the north and the east, and the northern Boko Haram crisis is concerned?
Okay, I think I'll try to separate them. I'll start with the Anglophone crisis, because for me the Anglophone crisis is priority. If there is one thing to resolve, if any presidential candidate gets to power, is the Anglophone crisis. Because the truth about it is that